Bam, pow, Batman. Ma Bell, got the ill communication. Ma Bell, got the ill communication. Ma Bell, got the ill communication. With the old school intro vibrating behind us by request. Microphone check 1, 2, 3, 5. LaCroix cheers. To my friends, family, viewers, enemies, haters. I don't think I'm big enough to have haters. I have a lot of cool people on this channel, actually. About 9,500 of you, somehow. Thanks for tuning in. It's your pal Malan D. And it's a live Friday, June 22nd, round about 5:53 p.m. And you are catching me live, or playback. I'm live right now in this moment. Coming to you from the new and improved lit studio. I got some lights going because I wanted to make it look better. Welcome to the video. It's always a work in progress. You know how we do it. And one thing that I realized after I moved and then set up my office in here, where I'm coming at you from the top floor of my house. There's 2 levels. And this room is a studio. It's an office where I work. And it's where I do the videos now. Previously, I was doing them in the apartment at my desk where I worked. And it was right beside a big window, how the whole apartment was windows. So it had a lot of natural light. And I had a perfect vibe created with the colors and the ring light that I was using. And then when I moved to this new place, of course, I had to kind of rethink things and reset things up. So it's another learning process. That old setup took me, I don't know what, 2 years to figure out. The first thing is, this place echoes like crazy. So I might have to get something for the walls or something to kind of calm that down. It's beautiful for playing music, but otherwise, it just kind of sounds like an echo. You guys are catching me on a cheat day where, you know, it's a thing I do maybe twice a month. I don't worry about what I'm eating. I just work out in the morning. Today I got up early in the morning, about 6:30, drank some coffee, went outside, listened to my playlist that has a bunch of feel-good music on it. You know, Don't Worry, Be Happy, Bobby McFerrin. What a Wonderful World by, what's his name? I can't remember. What else is on there? A Willie Nelson song that's a happy song. A bunch of songs that make me feel happy. It's about a 20-minute playlist I put on, and I go outside with a cup of coffee, and I stay outside until the playlist is over. And what it does for me is it guarantees me like 20-25 minutes outside with no computer screen. Before anything starts, I'm outside listening to music. And for me, it's a game changer. Because while the old apartment studio looked great on YouTube, I was not leaving the place very much. I was staying inside a lot because it was beautiful. But on the streets, it was horrific. A lot of homeless problem over there, horrific homeless problems. Like if you're from a small town, you don't understand what I'm talking about. People say you should be more kind to homeless people. And what I would say to that is I would invite you to go live at Sunset and Vine for 6 years and 6 months and let me know how you feel after that. Funny, someone sent me a comment on my blog, MalanDarras.com, not too long ago, and it was a song by the guy Tom Waits. The older guy, Tom Waits, but he has a song called Heart Attack and Vine that's written about that area, either Sunset and Vine or Hollywood and Vine. I'm pretty sure he was singing about one of those corners, and they're both the same. It's a crazy neighborhood. But if you feel like I'm not being fair to homeless people, go check it out, try it out, because it was not fun. But today I had a cheat day. Woke up early in the morning, worked out in my garage. I no longer go to the gym and lift weights. For the last 2 months, I've been doing body weight exercises on a little power rack that I bought. It just has, you can do pull-ups, dips, and like push-ups with it. And I'm 2 months in, loving it. No gym membership, no weights. My back feels better. My knees feel better. Squatting and deadlifting, all that was fun, and it worked, but it was very painful for me. I feel much better. So what I did is I got a good workout this morning, and I tried out this thing. It's called a HIIT workout. Dorian Yates kind of made it popular, but another guy, Arthur Jones, I believe, wrote about it first. I forget if that's his name or not, but It's where instead of doing like 8 or 12 fast reps, you go super slow. You count like 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down. And if you can do like 50 push-ups going fast, you try doing push-ups counting 10 up and then 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, count to 10 down. You'll probably do about 5 push-ups and be as brutalized as you could be, as you could imagine. The benefit for me, that the reason I'm looking into it is because of my joints. And imagine the last time I tried to do max push-ups, I did about 75 or 80. And that's a lot of, your joints are squeaking. Imagine that, 60, 70 times in one set of push-ups, right? This way, you're doing 5 push-ups and getting pretty much the same work, but your joints are only moving 5 times. So over time, I'm thinking this might protect my joints and these kinds of things. But anyway, I got a really good workout. Poured some protein powder in my coffee afterwards. And then I drove down the hill to a diner and got a steak and fries and some eggs. Fantastic. And then I drove to a frozen yogurt shop and got a big frozen yogurt, filled it up with candy and cookies and all this stuff I would never eat. And ate that outside or out on the street. And then I went for a walk and tried to get some activity in there to burn off a few of those extra cookies. And man, it was really fun. And as I was walking, I had this kind of memory slash a moment of appreciation for my own life. And you might be able to identify with this, you might not be able to, but I don't know how old you are. You know, when you're 20, you probably, well, depending on how good you're doing at 20, if you have your life together at 20, you could probably look back. But it took a long time for me because my life was a mess for a long, long time. Up until my mid-30s, really. I was one step away from being locked up forever or being found dead in the street. Like there's just no way around it. It was the reality. But you know, I turned things around and things have gone well. And you've watched some of that and heard some about that on this channel. But I never really, even today, like today when I was walking around, or this year, just my whole life, I'm never real appreciative of the moment compared to previous moments, long time ago. And as I was walking, I felt fantastic. I just had all this great food. I'm out in the sun, having a great time, listening to music in my earbuds. And an old song came on by Jane's Addiction called My Time, I think it was. And it flashed me back to being a teenager and to being like a 21-year-old, you know, which would be about 20-something years ago for me. And for the first time in ages, it flashed me back to the fun I was having at that age. But I was also desperate, broke, living in Texas. Well, I was living in Ada and then I moved to Dallas. But in both places, I had no idea where my future was going to go. It seemed like it was going to go nowhere but down. Like I remember me and my 2 older brothers, our life options, we thought, were rock stardom, death, or prison. Like that was really it. It was get rich or die trying or go to jail trying. Like that was really the only options that we had. Unfortunately, my older brother chose death. My younger brother's in prison. And, you know, I managed to scrape by the skin of my teeth and avoid both of those, barely. But it's been a long time now since those days. Like 21 was crazy. I was straight up homeless. I would steal from you if you left money laying around. Like I was just desperate, you know, in a bad situation. And I remember laying down at night. The nights that I was coherent, I was usually blacked out drunk, but I remember laying down at night and just going into a full panic attack because I didn't know what was going to happen. I had no idea how this was going to work. I had no idea if I was going to make it. I didn't know where my life was going. I was praying for rock stardom to save me, for like a limousine to pull up with a briefcase full of money and go, hey kid, you've got the goods and we're going to take care of you. Here's your mansion. Here are all your girls, motorcycles, Lamborghini. That's what I was praying for. That was my only shot, I felt. And today I'm walking down the street and, you know, I don't think I'm not the greatest guy in the world. I'm not the most successful guy in the world. I'm not the most famous guy in the world. I'm not the best looking guy in the world. I'm not the happiest person ever. I'm not the coolest guy in the world, but I'm okay. And that to me is a miracle. And I don't normally appreciate it until there are moments like today when I was just walking down the sidewalk, sweating in the sun. And I'm actually sweating in this room too right now, but I had to turn the air conditioning off so there wouldn't be a hum. It's hot in here, but it was hot outside. And I was feeling the sun, and I just flashed back for a minute. And I was walking, and I started laughing to myself. If anyone saw me, they probably thought I was crazy. But I started laughing to myself because here I am, 20 years later, in California, walking down the sidewalk, just finished a frozen yogurt, having a fantastic day. And all the stuff that I was worried about at 20, 21, 22, all the worst things that I was worried about didn't come true. Those things that haunted me every night, none of them came true. You know, the ending up in prison, ending up dead, ending up a loser, ending up an alcoholic that's, you know, overweight and sick and shaking in my little shack of a house. You know, these were the things that I was expecting to happen if I lived. But it was such a cool feeling, and it's weird how music can do that to you. It flashed me back and gave me just a glimpse of the panic I was in when I was that age. And I got to feel it in a moment where I was having a really good, solid day. And these days, like, I have options. I can do whatever I want. Like I said, I'm not Dan Bilzerian with $100 million in the bank and a $100 million mansion and all this crazy stuff. But I can kind of do what I want to do. I'm not married, don't have kids. I'm not on probation or parole, which is a miracle. I have a driver's license and car insurance. And I get to do what I want to do. And it was a fantastic realization. And I'm going to try to stay more aware of that in the future, because a lot of times, especially in the world of Instagram and the internet, we compare ourselves to people like Dan Bilzerian or Donald Trump or 50 Cent or Floyd Mayweather or whoever you're looking at. And compared to them, your life sucks. Like you're sitting in your apartment watching TV and eating a bowl of oatmeal, and you're looking at this guy. He's surrounded by girls and Lamborghinis and bags full of money and cars, and they're just throwing money around and women everywhere and gold everything. And you start to think, man, I'm a loser. But I think the trick for me, maybe for you, I don't know. I'm just telling you what's on my mind. The trick for me is to compare myself to older versions of myself, right? And this is not a new theory or a new concept, but sometimes I forget. It's hard to remember. I'm not in competition with Dan Bilzerian. I'm not in a competition with Floyd Mayweather. I'm not in a competition with Lil Wayne or Birdman or any of these people, even Justin Bieber. It's just me against me a few years ago. How am I doing compared to that? Not that I always have to be doing better, but man, just sometimes to realize, I remember being horrified of what was going to happen by the time I hit this age. Now I'm here and it's okay. It's like the shirt. It will be okay. I wish I had come up with that way back when I was a kid. I was actually wearing that shirt yesterday. If you guys want the It Will Be Okay shirt, I realized the Shopify store that I was using, I don't even know if it's live anymore, but I moved the shirts to Amazon. So if you go to Amazon, just type in Malan, M-A-L-A-N, It Will Be Okay t-shirt. And you kind of have to use those words, Malan, It Will Be Okay t-shirt, and it'll come up. They have a much better shipping, much better quality of the cloth, and the shirts are way better than the Shopify shirts. So check that out. I didn't mean to sell you t-shirts in this video. It just popped up. But anyway, yeah, man, so that's my walking and realization about being okay. And it was really cool because you may be this age right now, or no matter what age you are, if you haven't hit your stride yet, keyword yet, you might be terrified of the future, especially if you have a couple of kids or a wife or a husband or some people that you're responsible for. Thank God I didn't end up with a trail of 4 or 5 kids back in those days, or who knows what would have happened for me and them. It might not have been such a happy ending. But right now, I'm kind of happy the way things have worked out. And today I was really happy. Speaking of things going on these days, I run an affiliate marketing forum called Mad Society. It's madsociety.net. And in this forum, I talk to people, coach people all day, every day. Many times a day, I log in and answer questions, help people out, people from beginning to people that are already doing it and just want to kind of improve their game. And one of the tests, I'm going to post something in there. I'm going to give you guys a teaser in case you're interested. I'm going to give you some of the tip, and then I'm going to post the whole thing in the forum. But I've been doing something lately. I was listening to a podcast about marketing. And I forget who the guy was. It doesn't matter. It wasn't even a great podcast. I didn't think it was great, but he said one thing that I liked, and I tested and it worked. And he said that the key to getting a marketing message across, and he was talking about brand advertising, he said is repetition. 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 Repetition, right? If you hear something over and over and over and over again, you start to believe it to be true. Like if I turned on my TV every day and it said Coca-Cola gives you muscles, Coca-Cola gives you muscles. You know, every day, Coca-Cola gives you muscles. At some point I go, I got to go try this Coca-Cola thing. I want muscles. And they do that to us. Like Coca-Cola will make you feel good. Dr. Pepper will make you happy. You know, this purse will make you a better person. Louis Vuitton is the answer to all of your problems. Dolce & Gabbana will make you feel happy. They repeat those messages over and over, and that's how it gets drilled in our heads so that when we feel bad, we go, maybe I should buy a Louis Vuitton. Or maybe I should go have a Coke and a smile, right? Coke will make you happy. They just keep saying this from the time I was born until today, minimum. They've been doing it 100 years, and it works very well, obviously, because they're one of the biggest corporations in the planet. But when he said it, I had an idea for an affiliate marketing landing page. And I'm not going to give it away here. I'm going to give away in the forum on a call that we're doing at the end of this month. But I just want to plant that in your head. If you're into the marketing thing, and I know a lot of you guys are. Some of you aren't, but a lot of you are. Think about repeating how you could use repetition on a landing page to help convince and to help convey the message you're trying to convey. That's all I'm going to say. Write it down. Try it out. I'd love to hear your theories. I'm going to write it up. I'm going to talk about it on the call in the forum, and then I'll probably write it up and post it in the forum at the end of this month. But yeah, I just wanted to share that a little bit for you guys. One last thing. We're kind of going long, but this is more of a podcast type of thing. But I got a really cool email from someone from the other side of the world. A couple came in recently. And one was from the Dominican Republic. And he told me in an email, unrequested, just out of nowhere, I got this email about how he hated his job. His boss was treating him terribly. I won't get into the details, but it was horrific what he told me. It involved a natural disaster coming to their city. And he got so pissed that he got on YouTube and started thinking of ways to quit his job. Came across me, ended up watching all the videos, got inspired. And he was emailing me from another country. He had quit his job, uprooted. I think his relationship ended. He just went to another country, and now he's doing freelance design work or freelance marketing work there. And he said that I had helped him make that transition. I couldn't believe it. So if you're watching this, I'm not giving out your details or your name, but that was one of the best emails I've ever gotten. It made me feel fantastic. So thank you for sending those. I always love hearing how these little weird videos touch people on the other side of the planet. I got another cool one this morning or this afternoon from someone who said that he was terrified that he'd been watching the videos forever, right? And always found inspiration. It was like having a friend. And he said that, I shouldn't read the email because that's private, but he said something about, he was scared that I was going to delete my YouTube channel. He had this bad feeling and he couldn't sleep. And he was just emailing me to see if I was thinking about deleting my YouTube channel. And I emailed him back. I said, I'm not deleting the channel, but I thought it was a really cool message. Sometimes, I said this before and I'll say it again, I record these videos because I like to talk. And luckily you guys like to listen. It's all accidental. If I help you, it's on accident. But I think it's fantastic. And I know, like, I do the same thing with Joe Rogan's podcast, a couple other people. Without me knowing them, they've changed my life in certain ways. Opened my mind to certain things I probably would have never been there. So thank you for the emails, and thank you for letting me know what's up with you. I love hearing from you guys. And if I don't get back to you, it doesn't mean I didn't like the email. It might just mean I was in a bad mood that day or really busy that day. But that's really it, man. Thanks for tuning in. I want to share a song with you guys. I hate that you can't share music on YouTube because of copyright stuff, but I'm just going to tell you what it is, and I'll link it in the description. And it's the song that kicked off that memory in my head today. And it's probably my favorite song by Jane's Addiction, oddly enough. And it's a song from their live album that they put out in like 1985, before Nothing Shocking, before Ritual de lo Habitual, before Lollapalooza, before all of that. They put out this thing that I've always called Triple X Live. Jane's Addiction Triple X Live. And it has an acoustic song on there called My Time. And it's on my morning playlist. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. So if you look in the description, I'll link to it, or just punch it into YouTube, Jane's Addiction, My Time. Listen to it, and when you hear that harmonica kick off, you know, you'll get it. I hope you get it. But I like to share music with you guys because I know, like these days, everyone's listening to Drake or whatever nonsense Kanye's putting out, or Justin Bieber. You know, I can't even think. There's not much good. Band of Horses is pretty cool. I've been listening to them lately. But I like to share some music that you may have never heard of to kind of point you in a different direction than maybe you're headed. Because I think the world needs new good music and new good rock music. I think hip-hop and pop and EDM have bottomed out. I think they're at their worst ever. And I'm hoping that as Nirvana did in '92, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, that happened in '92 because rock had bottomed out. Glam rock, Trickster, Winger, like all this stuff had just ruined itself. And I feel like we're at that point again with popular music. It's all just terrible. Not terrible. It's all just not as good as it could be. And I'm hoping there's going to be another awakening. Maybe rock. Someone's going to do something, and they're gonna reopen the door and make some great music. But anyway, one of the bands that changed my life was Jane's Addiction. So I always try to share them with people, especially younger people that don't know who they are. But the song is called My Time. Check it out. Let me know what you think. And that's it. LaCroix cheers on the way out. Boom. Yeah, I'm going to have to cool this room down a little more before I do other videos, because can you see that? I'm sweating for you guys. Sweating for you. Anyway, have a great day. And as always, stay out of trouble. Be kind to yourself. Look both ways before crossing the street. And I will see you in the future.